Did you know that for decades, states have been taking foster children's federal survivor and disability benefits to pay for their own costs? You may be thinking, wait, foster children can get federal benefits? Yes, they can. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the appalling practice of states to take federal benefits that rightfully belong to foster children, use it to pay for their own cost, leaving these children with nothing by the time they age out of foster care. So stick around to learn more about this and how you can advocate for foster children in your state. Now make sure to subscribe to this channel to get more content like this every week. And just so you know, this is the place to be if you desire to adopt children, care for vulnerable children, and you want to be the best adoptive parent that you can be. This is something that I've helped hundreds of families with as an adoption lawyer. So if you're ready to grow your family through adoption, you know that adoption is the best path for your family. There's a link below where you can fill out an application and speak with a real person on my team so we can talk about your next best adoption steps and see if you're fit to walk together with you through the entire adoption process, just like we've done with so many other families just like you. So if that's you, go ahead and click the link in the description box below to fill out the application. All right, so every year, around 27,000 foster children are eligible for federal survivor and disability benefits because either their parents passed away or they have some type of disability. So what's been happening for a long time now is that most states are now receiving those benefits on behalf of the minor children, and they are using some of those benefits to cover some of the cost of care. So essentially what's happening is that foster children who are eligible for these benefits are basically paying for their own care while in foster care, which is just completely wrong. So the first question we should all be asking is, how are states allowed to do this abhorrent thing? I mean, it's just so wrong. Well, firstly, it's because there are state laws that allow them to do that. So all across the United States, Department of Health and Human Services has been doing this now for a long, long time because the laws allow them to. So when a child becomes a ward of the state now becomes their legal guardian. And so if the child is eligible for federal benefits, they can apply for it on their behalf and take in that money. Now, ideally, the benefits are supposed to be taken so that it can go towards the care of the child. That's what it's supposed to be for. But there was a service that was done where they interviewed states all across the United States, and most agencies, Department of Health and Human Services specifically, said that the money was used to just cover agency cost. And so it sounds like the money is maybe being put in a big pot and it's just being spent. So the other reason why states are allowed to do this is because Social Security Administration is allowing them to do it as well. Now, one of the things that I think is just so wrong, I mean, there's so many things so wrong about this, but one of the things that's really so wrong is that most of the states that are applying for benefits for these children, the children never know that this is happening. The children didn't know that they were eligible for survivor benefits, for disability benefits, that the state applied for it on their behalf, and that the state has been taking the money. The children don't know that until after they age out of foster care and maybe they're applying for benefits. And that's when a lot of them find out that, oh, I was supposed to be receiving Social Security benefits, and it shows in the system I was, but really it was the state that was receiving it on their behalf. It's so wrong because we know that when children age out of foster care, they're usually left with nothing. Now, a lot of states have done a lot of work to make sure that when children age out of foster care, Medicaid is extended for a period of time, that they get assistance with, homes and things like that. But there's so much more work that needs to be done with that. But just imagine if a child is supposed to be getting $500 a month for, disability benefits, and they're in care for 4 years, and that money is saved up for them, how much money will they have when they age out of foster care, right? How much money will they have? Or if they get adopted out, all of that money that was saved can now go to the adoptive family to care for that child. That money can be used for so much. There are so many children who need specialized care, who want extracurricular activities that the state will never pay for while they're in foster care because it's not, under the services that they provide or they allow. And so, to be able to have that money is extremely important for foster children, especially when they're aging out, so they can get a car, they can get an apartment, they can get other things that they need to be able to survive when they age out of foster care. I'd love to hear from you. Comment below and let me know what you think about all this. So the second question really is, how do we fight this? How do we fight this evil practice that the state has been doing for years now? For a long time now, advocates for abused children have been trying to shed light on this. There's been different newspaper articles that have come out over the years, but now the voice of former foster youth and recent foster youth has been growing and growing and growing. There was actually a class action lawsuit in Alaska. I think it was a year ago, a couple years ago, where they were talking about this very thing. We want our money back. You know, they were demanding that Alaska gives back to these, you know, these foster children all of the benefits that belong to them. Now, I'm not sure what the outcome of that case was, but it's been growing and growing all across the United States. So what you can do is talk to your senators in your state and ask them to pass a bill to restrict the state as much as possible from using the federal benefits that belong to foster children to offset the cost of care. To maybe set up trusts, you know, to set up savings account or something for the foster children so that their money can be saved up for them when it's not being used for their care. So they have something to be able to take with them either after they're adopted or after they age out of foster care. You can also, you know, write a letter to your representative in Congress for your state and tell them that this is abhorrent, tell them this is evil, tell them, guys, this is wrong. And hopefully we'll get, you know, enough people talking to their senators, their representatives in Congress, that the bill will hopefully be passed to actually combat what's going on right now. So I encourage you to do your part and advocate for the children. Just a quick reminder, if you desire to grow your family through adoption, there's a link below to fill out an application so we can talk with you about your next best adoption steps and if we're fit to walk with you together through the entire adoption journey from start to finish. So again, if that's you and you desire to grow your family through adoption, click the link in the description box below to fill out the application. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you in the next video.